And we back for week 12 of college football, baby. Already towards the end of the season. It's so sad. It's so sad. We're back with your boy Cole.
What's up?
Cole? What's up? So, taking a look on last week, your boy finished 7-3 on picks on the ESPN College Pick'ems. Our overall record is 67-43, and we're sitting on top of the group so far. So it's looking good. Luke is 3 picks behind us. And yeah. Now, it would be a shame if I continue this video and not mention that for the first time that I've ever seen in my life, I don't know if you heard about this, Cole, we have an interim coach that got fired.
No, I was not aware of this. Please.
Can you guess which team fired their interim coach?
Who the hell would fire their interim coach? Arkansas, maybe? I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. It's in a state where you are going to be in the near future.
Oh, Portland State. Oregon State.
Yeah, Oregon State fired their interim coach. I've never seen that before in my life. Well, head for Oregon State for making history on the Reese Football Podcast.
Folks, this is why we love college football. The wildness and the wackiness, it never ends. Every single week you're going to see something you've never seen before. Unlike the NFL, where the Scoregami bot tweets out 44-22 as a unique score, and it happened literally 10 minutes before that. But this is a college football's podcast. We're going to talk about college football.
Yeah, man. That Scoregami is tripping right now.
Yeah, I don't know. But, rest in peace to the Scoregami bot. He is smoking crack.
Smoking crack. Oh, right. Now, we'll go straight into our Week 12 games. First game on the slate, we got Clemson at Louisville. Now, Louisville is a minus 2.5 point favorite here against Clemson. Clemson, huge win against FSU. I'm sorry, Cole.
Huge.
Clemson, man,
they stormed the field. It was massive.
It was a meaningful game. So, of course. This is a meaningful game for Louisville, at least, because they're 7-2, 4-2 in the conference. Who the hell is going to win the ACC? I don't know. Clemson is sitting at 4-5. Do they got their striker back? I don't know. They lost 2 of their last 5 games, but so did Louisville. But those 2 losses come from Cal and Virginia. That's a huge loss to Virginia there, by the way, because that gives them the tiebreaker. But nevertheless, Clemson, they got a lot of talent on that team. Like we mentioned almost every week that they're on here. It's just they just can't get anything going. Reminds me like another team from the SEC, but we'll talk about them later. Cade Klubnik, he's having a solid season, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but he's been having some questionable decision-making. Louisville has been a really good team this year. Moss has been kind of hit or miss at games. 11 touchdowns, 7 picks. You wanted to see the less turnovers there. But Isaac Brown is a beast for this Louisville team. Louisville is at home. They're the more consistent team. I can't pick against Louisville here, but if anyone would spoil Louisville's season, it would be Clemson. But I'm going to stick with the home team and the team that's more consistent this season. So give me the Cardinals and the potential future coach for the Gators, maybe. He's a candidate. So
Jeff Brom?
People are talking about him.
Are we talking about ex-FL legend Jeff Brom? Have you seen that clip before where he gets concussed and he's like, am I still breathing? Yeah, I'm going to keep playing football. That's a legend right there. Would be a terrible fit in Florida, though. He's not made for the Gators. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about why do people think this game is going to be close. I don't really understand. Just because Clemson beat a bad Florida State team by two scores does not mean Clemson is back. They're just neither of those teams are good at football. Clemson is certainly not good at football. Louisville is good at football at times. So I think that's the only math I really need to do. I'm going to take Louisville at home minus 2.5 points. I feel like that's all right. If I'm going to ever say free money, I feel like that's free money.
That's a great pick, my friend. Great pick. I love it. Moving on. Next game. We got South Florida at Navy. Now, some of you thinking, why are you talking about Navy? Well, if you live under rocks, Navy is 7-2 right now and 5-1 the American. If they win this conference, they're going to the playoffs. Same as for South Florida. But South Florida is the favorite here in this game. Favored by 10.5 actually. Opened up at 9.5. South Florida, that was a tough loss against Memphis. They were up that game early on. I think by like 14 points or so, but they ended up choking at the end. Navy, their 2 losses comes from a tough Notre Dame team and North Texas. They're riding a 2-game losing streak. Do they lose 3 games in a row? That'll be pretty tough, especially in between Veterans Day. Like, what are you doing, Navy? Come on now. You can't be doing this now. But South Florida has this weapon. They have the beast of a quarterback in Byron Brown. That dude is electric. But USF is very turnover prone team. They're like a charity. They like to give to the other team sometimes. So sometimes they feel charitable, and sometimes they can be the Grinch, and they'll take games away from you. But South Florida, I think this game, they'll take. So give me South Florida on the road. I think their team is too electric. The defense is pretty solid. Give me the Bulls.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like USF to win the game outright. I do think they're a very good team. I don't think them having to go on the road is going to be like a huge problem considering it's Navy, although USF does play a lot better at home. But when I look at this spread, I see 10.5 points. And when I look at Navy's schedule, I see a team that, other than when they got blown out by Notre Dame, they like to keep games close. So I think 10.5 points is way too many points. And I like Navy to cover, but I like USF to win.
All right. Great take there. Moving on. Next game. We got Oklahoma at Alabama. Now, this is a very interesting game. Oklahoma 7-2, number 12 in the country right now. Huge SEC game. Bama's 8-1, undefeated in the SEC. That's huge for them. Oklahoma lost 2 of the last 5 games, including to a Texas team and an Ole Miss team. 2 tough losses. I mean, those are pretty solid teams. 2 top 10 teams currently. In Alabama, they've been just cleaning up the SEC right now. Alabama's coming in as a minus 6.5 point favorite. And I think something worth noting is Bama sometimes struggle to run the football. And I think that can really hinder them sometimes. And Oklahoma has one of the best run defenses in the country right now. So that's something to keep an eye on, because if Oklahoma can keep Alabama on 3rd and long, that'll give them a chance in this game. Now, their offense is way too inconsistent for me to pick Oklahoma, but I do expect Oklahoma to keep this a close game. John Mateer was at one point listed as a Heisman favorite, but since that surgery on his thumb, he's kind of fallen off. And Ty Simpson, he's been balling. They did start slow, or no, they started strong against LSU, but then kind of finished pretty slow. LSU, I know it was like a 2-score game, but LSU was always kind of in the game when they really shouldn't have. So I'm going to go with Bama to win this, especially since they're at home, but I expect Oklahoma to keep it close. So I'm actually going to take Oklahoma here in their spread.
Interesting. Do you remember this game last year? This is when Bama had to go out to Oklahoma. Oklahoma wasn't very good, and Oklahoma just embarrassed them. And that was this definitive moment that everybody said the Bama dynasty was dead. They were never coming back. They were a bad team now. Well, look at this team now. They're 8-1. They're crushing everybody they play. And I think they're really, really pissed off about that game last year. So give me whatever the spread you want to make it. Give me Bama by 1,000,000. They figure it out. They dominate at home. They put Oklahoma back to where it should be as a middling team, and Bama comes out on top.
Ooh, I love it. I love the take there. All right. Cool. Next game, we got Virginia at Duke. Now, Virginia is one of the top teams in the ACC right now currently. They're 5-1 in the conference, 8-2 overall. believe it or not, Duke is in the conference too.
Oh, they're in it.
4-1.
They're in it.
They're in it.
There's a lot of teams that are in it.
Dude, it's crazy. I don't know who. I got to get your prediction on the ACC later, but they're 4-1 in the ACC right now, but 5-4 overall, with losses coming from UConn. They lost to UConn last week.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
UConn.
Is UConn a pro?
UConn better
Yeah,
ACC record than Florida State.
Oh no!
It's tough.
No.
It's tough out here. Gotta watch out for UConn though. Hey, our boy Joey Fagiano, he's a baller. 25 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yep.
We've mentioned him before on this podcast. Some things had to be cut that we said about him, but we've talked about our boy. We're good at the end of the season. UConn's gonna be they're gonna be talked about, but let's get back to Duke.
We will be talking. We will be talking about them in their bowl games.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, back to Duke. They have not superstar quarterback, but a really good quarterback in Darian Mensah, beast quarterback for Duke. He's been playing solid. 24 touchdowns. Not as good as UConn's quarterback, but he's 24 is one away. But he also has 4 picks along the road there. Virginia. Explosive quarterback in Chandler Morris. He's been solid. He's a dual threat quarterback. He got some wheels on him. Virginia's offense can put up points on the board. Except last week when they lost, they only put up 9 points to Wake Forest. How do you only put up 9 points to Wake Forest? They were the worst defense last year. I guess they turned shit. But before that, they put up 31 against Cal, 22 against Washington State, and 30 against Louisville. So, Virginia, they had momentum. Did the momentum stop last week at Wake Forest? I guess we'll find out. Duke is a sneaky team here. Duke is actually favored. I didn't know this. They're favored by 5.5 points. All right.
They are.
Well, I'll take the points. Give me Duke at home. I actually thought Virginia was favored, and I was going to take an underdog, but I guess not. Give me Duke. I like Duke.
Oh, do you have 5.5?
According to ESPN, it's 5.5.
It must have just moved because I got it 6.5 earlier. Whatever. That does not change my pick. I think that this is going to be a very close game. It's going to go, fit in the mold of our wild and wacky ACC games that are really close for whatever reason every single week, and no team can figure out how to come on top. I do like Duke at home to win this outright, but if you give me 5.5 points for Virginia, I will take that. Because I think this is a field goal game no matter what happens, maybe even less. Maybe a 2-point game, a 1-point game. It's going to be close. These two teams are going to duke it out, no pun intended. I like Mensa a lot. That's why I give them the edge. But Virginia just finds a way to drag teams down in the muck and make them play their game every single week. So, yeah, give me Duke, but give me Virginia to cover.
All right. And before we move on, Cole, who's winning the ACC? Who the hell is winning the ACC?
Oh, I don't want to say Miami. I think there's a strong chance that it could be Miami. I mean, if you just look at that team, they're too talented to not win the ACC, right? Like they figure it out, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think a lot of it
to
hinges on what happens in this Clemson Louisville game. I feel like if Louisville slips up and loses to Clemson, then it'll probably be like Duke or Miami. But if Louisville ends up winning, I like Louisville a lot.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good pick. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with 1 losses in the conference, and then you got the Louisville team with 2, but with the tiebreaker over Miami. So Miami needs a lot to go their way. They still have Georgia Tech as the favorite, I believe. Georgia Tech or Virginia. One of those 2 teams are the favorite to win there. So keep an eye out there. But if Miami doesn't make it, I like Georgia Tech. But yeah, speaking of that conference, it smells like a barf bag. What? You smell that?
Yeah, I'm getting pretty sick. I'm pretty sick that we just talked about the ACC and this is an SEC game, but play my music.
You light my fire. I
right, folks. We're taking it out to Kroger Fields in Lexington, Kentucky for Kentucky versus Tennessee Tech. And you may be asking me, why the hell are we talking about Kentucky, Tennessee Tech? You might be asking me, Cole, didn't you say you weren't going to pick games that weren't on TV? Well, you know what? There's about to be some history made on this field, and I feel like it's not getting the proper attention. Tennessee Tech is on a 15-game winning streak right now. They're currently 10-0, and they have a chance to finish the this season undefeated, which would be huge for a school like Tennessee Tech. They do have to go on the road and play an SEC team, yes, but it's Kentucky, and it's Cutter Boley. And I think they may have just blown their entire wad against Florida last week. And they might just be... damn it. Brandon's going to cut me off in the middle of this. Kentucky probably blew their wad last week. So we're looking at this game. And honestly, I like Tennessee Tech money line. I like them to take this the full fourth quarter fight and just beat them, honestly. A Tennessee team that's probably sleeping on their laurels. But for barf bag purposes, I will give you Tennessee Tech plus 20.5. That's almost 3 full touchdowns. Take that one to the bank. That's going to hit, no question. This is not on ESPN, by the way. I had to look this up on Hard Rock because they did not post the line for this on ESPN.
Yeah.
That's how sick this game is.
What's the line?
It's 20.5.
Oh.
Yeah,
dude,
give me Tennessee
that's
Tech plus
pretty
20.5.
My Java.
Jake?
We got Iowa at USC. Huge Big Ten matchup. Iowa 6-3. Currently the 21 ranked team. I'm surprised by that, but they did keep it close against Oregon. They're on the road against number 17 USC Trojans. Remember, when we talk about the Trojans, sometimes when we talk about these Trojan teams, they got holes. They have holes in their teams, and you don't want holes in your Trojans. So, this year, they patched up those holes, and their defense is actually kind of solid, They won 3 of the last 5 games, but, they only allowed 17 Northwestern, 17 Nebraska, 34 to Notre Dame, 13 to Michigan, and 34 to Illinois. It's kind of tough there. But Iowa, another top defensive team that likes to run the football because their quarterback barely has over 1,000 passing yards. He has a combined 1,084 passing yards with 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. How the hell does this offense function, you might ask? Well, they function on the ground. They're an unstoppable train. USC is favored by 6.5. Now, USC, they have Java, the legend, the GOAT. They also have Lemon, the wide receiver. He's a beast. The defense has fixed their holes. Iowa is a tough Big Ten team, man. This is actually, I think it's going to be a closer game than the spread indicates. I'm going to take Iowa with the points, but USC is at home. I'm going to go with USC to win this game.
I agree with you, Matt. And for the viewers at home, if you saw me mess around with my computer, it's because Matt said 17th ranked USC, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. The college football playoff rankings got dropped while we were recording this, so all the rankings just changed. So I was just checking that out real quick. But nevertheless, it doesn't change anything about anything. It's just stupid numbers that stupid people make up in a room. Matt, I agree with you on all of those points. I think Iowa's another team that may or may not have blown their wad last week when they played Oregon. They did everything they could. They fought super hard, and Soggy Dan Lanning and his Ducks just found a way. They like playing in the rain, and they found a way to win that game. And I think Iowa just feeling a little bit defeated after that. Now they got to fly out to Los Angeles to play USC. I think USC and Jaden Mayava are just too much for them to handle. And I think USC wins and they cover 6.5 points.
All right. We love it. We love it. We love some Mayava here in this channel. But moving on. Next game. We got Memphis at East Carolina. Now, this is a huge game because we got to figure out who's the 12th team to make it to the playoffs. East Carolina, they might. They're a long shot. If they win this game, it'll kind of boost them. But they're sitting 6-3. They have a good, tough schedule. I believe one of their losses was LSU. They're 4-1 in the American Conference. Memphis is 4-2, so they're trying to fight for the top spot in that American Conference here. Memphis lost 2 of the last 5 games, including a really strange, bizarre loss to UAB. That was really weird. East Carolina, they're 4-5 in their last. They won 4 of the last 5 games with the loss to Tulane. The spread here is East Carolina minus 2.5. Now that's very interesting. I do think East Carolina is a good football team, but it's tough to pick them against Memphis, a team that has faced adversity and prevailed, especially against USF, a really good Power 5 team. They couldn't do it against Tulane. They almost came back in that game. So I've seen Memphis go down and actually come back and win the game multiple times, but they couldn't pull it off last week. I don't see Memphis losing 2 weeks in a row, so I'm going to have to go with the underdog here. Give me the Memphis to win this game, and I'll take their points as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I am not 100% locked in to Eastern Carolina football. I watched them play one game at the beginning of the season when they lost to NC State, and they looked competitive, I guess, but from scoreboard watching, what I can tell is that ECU plays really well against bad teams. And I don't think Memphis is a bad team. So for that reason, I'm going to take Memphis plus 2.5 on the road. I do think Memphis is pretty damn good at football. They've beaten some solid teams. And I don't really think a little business trip to Eastern Carolina is going to scare them too much. But cool school. One of the top surfing schools in the country. There's some good surf in North Carolina. It's right on the coast.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's a fun fact. Fun fact there. All right. Moving on. Next game, we got Florida at Ole Miss. And you almost be wondering, Matt, why'd you include Florida and Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Florida's a 15.5 point underdog.
Yeah, I'm asking the same question.
But y'all must not know what Florida did to Ole Miss last year. Florida is infamous for making Ole Miss quarterbacks cry. And let's just say Trinidad Chambliss might be turning to Jamaican Chambliss after this game with the amount of tears he's about to cry on Lane Kiffin's shoulders, man. Lane Kiffin might need an umbrella this week. So, I mean, it's going to be tough, man. DJ Lagway, he had a bad game last week. He's going to be pissed off. He's going to come in this game looking to be the guy for Florida next year to secure his spot because he got benched last week. Not a good look. Yeah, so I think Florida Gators, they got nothing to lose. That makes them dangerous, yeah. Kentucky drug test that whole team. They were on something that day. But no, Florida is going to make Trinidad Chambliss cry again on Lane Kiffin's shoulder. And Lane Kiffin's going to get tired of all these quarterbacks crying on his shoulder. And he's going to end up at Florida. So that's how this game's going to go. Give me Florida to win this game and the points. Historically, Florida owns Ole Miss. So give me Florida.
It's really funny that you bring up Florida historically making Ole Miss quarterbacks cry. Who did Tim Tebow lose to before he got up on stage and cried? Was that the University of Mississippi? I think it was.
Was it?
It definitely was. It was after they lost at home to Ole Miss, and that's when he cried and gave the speech. But we'll let bygones be bygones. Matt,
I'm going to fact check this.
I have a question for you. Do you think DJ Lagway is going to look better in the orange Miami jersey or the green Miami jersey next year?
How about the blue Gators jersey?
Okay.
This year? I don't think he's going to Miami.
Sure.
He must be confused. He's still a Gator.
Yeah, he's still a Gator. He lost his best friend, Billy Napier. And now they're benching him? Not a good look.
They were saving him for this week.
I don't really have a lot of ball to talk about here. Florida's bad, and Ole Miss is good. And they have to go to Ole Miss. Yeah, give me Ole Miss minus 15.5. What are we doing here?
Next game. We got Georgia at Texas. Do you know the spread for this game?
I do. Texas plus 6.5.
Plus 6.5. Yeah. Texas, 6.5 point underdog against Georgia. Kind of surprised by that line a little bit. I think this game it might be within a touchdown, but I think it's more than likely going to be whoever wins the game by more than a touchdown, and I'm leaning towards the side of Georgia. So I was mistaken. It's Texas at Georgia. So that's even worse for Texas there. They got a good defense. The offense is kind of inconsistent. Texas is still in the running for the SEC. They're currently 4-1. Georgia is 6-1. So they're both looking good in this conference. I mean, I think whoever makes the championship game might honestly come down to Texas versus Texas A&M if Texas were to win this game. But I don't see it happening, man. Georgia, their offense has been pretty solid. Their secondary has been an issue for them, but they were an issue last week. So I gotta lean with the Bulldogs, man. Give me the Bulldogs, especially since they're home. That's gonna be a tough game for Texas to pull an upset on. But yeah, give me the Bulldogs. They're at home, and I'm just gonna say the gun doesn't jam.
Interesting. Well, I've gotten a note from our resident Georgia Bulldogs expert and SEC insider that Texas did get a bye week to prepare for this game. And if there's anybody I trust with a bye week, it's our best friend, Steve Sarkisian. He has been cooking up an offensive playbook all bye week. The Dogs are getting screwed again by having their biggest matchup. The team that comes into town gets a bye week. I think with a full 2 weeks to prepare, I think Texas figures out a way to keep this game close. I like them plus 6.5, and I like them outright because, as we know, folks, Georgia is mid.
Non-ball over.
All right. Breaking news. Our Georgia insider is stating that Georgia is mid. All right. Interesting take, but moving on. We continue. Next game, we got TCU at BYU. Big 12 matchup here. BYU is 5-1 in the conference. TCU is 3-3, but they have one of the best quarterbacks in this conference who is able to make plays. And if anyone's able to pull off an upset, I can see TCU doing it. Josh Hoover has been having a good season so far. He's thrown for 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Oh my. Go. Are you ready?
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. But they fought with expert timing.
Like this.
Megan Max, Ninja Star, bet of the week. Rolling with the Diabetic Bulldogs.
Diabetic dog.
You can say it. You can say
Say
it.
what?
No.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, you can say it.
Oh, all right, boys. This week we're rolling it back with the Mississippi State Bulldogs, coming off a bad, embarrassing loss. I don't know how them boys still show up and play football after that embarrassing loss against the Georgia Bulldogs. But they're gonna bounce back big. Missouri team not playing good ball. On their third string quarterback actually, because their second string quarterback got hurt before the season even started. On their third string quarterback, true freshman. I think Mississippi State goes in there, upsets Missouri, boots them out of the top 25 for the Diabetic Dog of the Week. Minus 7.5 for Missouri. I would take the money line, Mississippi State, not just a spread, but the money line, taking it all.
Fully agree with you there. Also, if you're able to do player props, look for one broken leg for Blake Shapen. We'll be cheering for that one. I know it's going to be probably at 0.5 over under for the broken leg. We're going to hope for that one. Smoke bomb!
Oh, yeah. I would also like to mention how little ball that one of your co-hosts knows. Picking Texas over that's an embarrassing pick. Like, I would rather just come out and say that I don't know ball than make a pick that bad. I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. Pretty embarrassing.
Everybody knows Georgia's mid.
We know.
We
I
don't
mean,
need to debate it.
we call this guy the barf bag
We
for a
don't need
reason.
to debate
We
it.
call him the barf bag for a reason.
Are you
because
taking
he does
his-
not know ball, and his picks make us want to throw up.
Are you taking his ball knowledge card license away?
Yeah, we're taking his ball knowledge away. His ball knowledge license away.
Revoked.
Revoked it. Revoked.
So TCU does have a strong offense, but the thing that's kind of weighing them down is their defense, right? BYU's defense is what's been keeping them in games, as well as their true freshman quarterback, who's been kind of surpassing expectations and keeping them alive in the conference. Now BYU is at home, so it's gonna make a really tough game on TCU. If their defense is able to get stops, that's gonna be the key to the game. If they're able to get stops, but I don't know, man. They weren't really trustworthy against Iowa State. I thought TCU would probably pull that one off. They couldn't do it. So I'm going to lean towards the side of BYU because they're at home. They have the stronger defense. And if you have defense in the Big 12, that goes a long way. Just look at Texas Tech. So give me BYU at home.
I like it, Matt. I like it a lot. Do you remember last time we picked the big BYU game? We went to check what the ticket prices were, and how much was it? It was like $450 to get into the stadium.
Or something.
Yeah, this one not as bad. Only $122 to get into the stadium. But, however, I still do think that the Provo will be rocking. The Mormons will be loud. The Mormons will be angry. And BYU is ready to get back up on the horse after a bad loss to Texas Tech. Night game in Provo. Josh Hoover is a furry. Look it up, folks. And I don't really think this game is going to be close. So BYU minus 4.5. Easy money. Free money, if I'm so bold to say.
What's the over-under, out of curiosity?
52.5.
52. I was going to say anything over 50, I'll probably take the under. But let's go line. That'll be my pick. Take the under. All right.
Love it.
Now, for the college game day, game of the week, the Reese football
And
game of
we're
the week,
coming
to
to your city.
to your screens. We're coming to your screens, and some of you might
You
be
want a
saying,
little yang yang?
some of you might be saying, "Oh my gosh, it's all over my screen." After
Oh,
we
it's
break down
coming.
this game,
Oh, we're coming. We're coming.
all
to your
on
city.
your screen.
Okay, buddy. So,
After we break down this game, we got Notre Dame at Pitt. Now, this is a very interesting game because, I don't know, have you seen the press conference from the Pitt's head coach?
Pat Narduzzi, I have not seen the most recent one, but I know he is a man of interesting sayings.
Yes.
I'll put it like that.
You know, they're the 22 ranked team in the nation right now. They're sitting at 7-2. You would think they'll try to win, go out there and win every game. But according to him, he's like, he doesn't care about this game. It's not a conference game. He doesn't. He could lose by 100 and not care. His quote exactly. You know. So
Rat poison.
is he just feeding us a bowl of lies? I mean, Notre Dame's here favored by 11.5.
I don't believe him for a dang second. Are you kidding me? You don't just walk out into a football game and tuck your tail between your legs. Not Pat Narduzzi.
No, sir.
That's a man right there. He's going to come up and fight.
That's what you'd think. We hope so. I mean, Notre Dame's been on a tear since their 2 losses early on in the season, starting 0-2. They won 7 straight games, but look at their level of competition. It was against Boise, NC State. USC was a good win. Boston College and Navy. I mean, it's kind of like mid-tier competition. Then you got Pitt. They won their last 5 games. Boston College, FSU, Syracuse, NC State, Stanford. I think that's even worse. 5 opponents than Notre Dame. But I think Notre Dame has figured something out. They got Jeremiah Love, probably the best running back in the nation. So I love me some Love. They're on the road, though. That's going to make it a little bit tricky. But I think Notre Dame's going to be they're too dominant of a team to lose to Pitt. So I'm going to go with Notre Dame on the road here. And give me the points. I know it's at 11.5. That's a lot of points. But I don't know. I'm not feeling this Pitt team. I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
Too many dang points is right. Matt, are you aware of Mason Heinschel? Do you know who this kid is?
Not all too familiar, no.
He's a stone cold killer. That's what he is. This is one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, and nobody wants to acknowledge it. They did not play him at the beginning of the season, and honestly, that's probably the only reason they lost those 2 games. This dude's a baller. I don't think Notre Dame coming to town scares him at all. I think he comes out ready to play the game of his life, just to maybe even show his own coach up who doesn't think that this is a big game. This is a big game for the boy. I know it is. I love Pitt. Give me Pitt plus 11.5, and you know what? Screw it. I'm going to take Pitt money line, too. They're winning this game.
Ooh.
Notre Dame will not be going to the playoffs.
Ooh. Let me go look
You
at
heard
this.
it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
Bold take. Bold take. Let me go look at their schedule, see who they finished the season out with. So they got Pitt this week, and then the rest of the season, if my computer ever loads. Come on. Come on.
Syracuse and Stanford. They will win both those games. But a 9-3 Notre Dame team with only one good win to USC, I don't think that gets you in the playoff.
Yeah, no.
No conference championship. If they had played in a conference championship and they had a chance to win it, maybe. But that's what happens when you play independent. You love that NBC money until something like this happens. But hasn't happened yet. But we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Notre Dame loses this game. They finish 9-3. Do they still make the playoff? You're saying no, right?
I would say hell no.
Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. Well,
I mean, all their losses would be, quality losses, but where are their wins? USC
Exactly.
at home. I mean, sure, that's great, but that's one decent win and 3 losses.
yeah, it's a good point. Well, that's all we have for you this week. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, comment down below. What are your picks this week? Give us some locks. And yeah, see how you do against the barf bag river. See if you got a better barf bag than Nicole.
We have 1 and 5,
ask.
I think we're at. I didn't even pick last week. I was so embarrassed. But we're back. This is a winner. I've never felt something so strongly in my entire life. If this loses, I don't know. I'll
Barf in a
do
bag.
something crazy. I will barf in a bag.
Okay, thank you. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for some more content. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.